In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they released two brand new legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon. Today, we're gonna look at Koraidon, a new legendary Pokemon that is genuinely scary with how powerful this mon is. Looking at his stats on screen, the man has roided out stats, a total base 670, 135 in both offensive and speed stats right there, respectively, and its brand new ability, Orichalcum Pulse. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to run Koraidon properly and what this mon is capable of doing in the Generation 9 brand new Scarlet and Violet meta. The first build we're gonna look at here is a pretty standard offensive Koraidon build. 4 attack, max speed, max attack, 4 in speed def. With Life Orb, we're gonna look at Collision Course, Dragon Claw, Flare Blitz, and Heavy Slam. So the beauty of this is that this mon is really fast, he hits really hard, his speed and the attack stat are the exact same, they're identical. And Orichalcum Pulse just gives this guy a free plus 30 in the sun on his attack stat. So you can take advantage of the sun with Flare Blitz, take advantage of the 30% attack buff, just in everything. This guy's a demon. Collision Course is really cool because it's a brand new fighting move that basically deals 1.3 times more damage if the move is super effective. So if you want more consistent damage and you don't want to only hit it on things that are super effective and get that added bonus, you could run close combat just to not have to worry about only hitting this move on like steel or dark types. So just to each their own, right? Rock type guys be like, because I didn't say rock, but to each their own, you know? I like Collision Course, it's cool, but if you want to run close combat as well too, you definitely could do so. Again, you can sort some things out. You could do Outrage, but I'm not the biggest fan of Outrage, so a few things can be swapped out, but all in all, at the end of the day, the mon is very fast, he's very strong, he hits really hard, and honestly, he's kind of him. He's kind of him. With stats like these, it's gonna be ridiculous. The next build we're gonna look at is a full choice banded build with U-turn, close combat, Dragon Claw, and Flare Blitz. This mon actually does get U-turn, so the fact that it does is insane. You can get really good initiative with this, and you can also be able to set up the sun, U-turn out, and bring in any sort of sun super you want. So we're gonna see some really cool builds with whenever Ho-Oh comes back, some really cool builds with Ho-Oh. And stuff like that would be really awesome. It's really hard. Like I said, the 30% attack buff in the sun is ridiculous, especially when Flare Blitz gets the sun boost and the 30% attack boost and the choice band boost. It's basically feels like this mon is stab with fire. It's gonna be nuts. It is really hard. Again, pretty self-explanatory and easy build to run. It's really strong. And not many appreciate taking a hit from a banded Koraidon, even if it's resisted. The next build is a little interesting though, and I actually kind of like it. It's one that I've used myself, and it's really fun. It's a Heat Rock build with Swords Dance, Dragon Claw, Close Combat, and Flame Charge. So it's really cool because if you don't want to just run raw recoil Flare Blitz, you can actually still take advantage of the Orichalcum Pulse with the sun being up. With Flame Charge, because Flame Charge does buff your speed by a +1. So if you get the Sun Boost of Flame Charge and the 30% attack buff from Flame Charge, it's really nice because you still do really good damage and you get a speed buff. So in a way, it feels like the mod is hitting you with Dragon Dance. It's really cool, honestly. Close Combat, Dragon Claw, and Sword Dance, of course, as well, too. You Swords Dance, knock him with Flame Charge. You're honestly set up. After that, you just do damage. Everything is going to be terrified of you. You just sort of do damage. So, and the Heat Rock is really cool because you actually get to drag out the Orichalcum Pulse to a guaranteed 8 turns instead of 5. So it's really awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really cool. It's really convenient. It feels weird because you normally run the thing on like Heat Rock on like a Torkoal or something like that. So it's really funny that you actually now can run on something that genuinely sweeps. You know, it's really awesome. I like that. Again, this guy hits really hard. You just maximize your speed stat because this guy is about 5 points at base faster than a Mewtwo. To even show you guys right now, Mewtwo is about 130. So a max speed Mewtwo, and Mewtwo comes into the metagame. This mon is actually going to be outspeeding it. So you don't even need a Flare Blitz for it. It just straight up raw outspeeds Mewtwo. So I felt the need to point this out because the mod is in Ubers and we're going to be looking at other potential Uber threats. So that's going to be a thing. Fluttermane was also recently dragged into Ubers, and the sad part is Fluttermane is really strong against it. She has 135 speed, so they actually speed tie. So especially with this build, if you have the Flame Charge up, you are golden, but she does get the boost from the sun. So depending on if she gets it from the special attack or the speed, because they're both the same stat, so it really could just be how the person builds it. It's going to come down to whatever happens, man. So you could compensate for it by getting a few more Flame Charges up, but again, that's it's really complicated. But the mind games are going to be there regardless. Fluttermane is kind of annoying for the thing, so Yeah, just set yourself up and you'll be golden, man. Like Flame Charge, Swords Dance in the sun, it's just disgusting. And even besides that mon, the thing is going to be nuking almost everything in the game. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a lot of fun to use. It's a really strong, consistent set. And it feels cool because it's almost like a dual dance set. So it feels really cool and honestly very nostalgic. The last set I have here that I want to talk about it real quick is a Terra Fire build. I feel like Terra Fire is nuts on this mon because I feel like he should have been a fire type. You know, I feel like we can all agree he should have been a fire type. I was a little confused when I saw fighting type because Miraidon gets the electric terrain on his ability, hard drawn engine. And it's weird because Orichalcum Pulse puts up the sun. It would have been really interesting to see if we actually would have gotten a fighting terrain. That actually sounds insane, but it would have been pretty interesting if we would have gotten a fighting terrain. Regardless, the thing is not fire. So there's a neat thing called Terrestrialize phenomenon, where basically you can turn yourself into any typing that you want. So, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand Terrestrialize. You are now pure fire, but offensively, you are fire dragon and fighting. So defensively, you're pure fire. So while they just has pros and cons, pros being you actually deal stab damage now in the sun with the Orichalcum Pulse, but the con being that now you're weak to rocks and you don't have heavy duty boots. So if you are gonna run Terra Fire, you could swap out the Heat Rock for heavy duty boots if you want to, and just sort of go crazy. I put on Solar Beam on this build just cause. Solar Beam is pretty cool because you actually can still take advantage of that 85 special attack stat. It's not totally unviable. It's actually not that bad. For 85 is actually not that bad, and it's really viable to where you can actually deal some real good damage with that stat. It's viable. It exists. You know, it's not like 32. So it's worthy enough to actually slap Solar Beam on this mon. Just for bulky waters, honestly. You could invest more into special attack stat, but IMO, I've done really well with this build, enough to where it's not really a big concern for me. So again, you are allowed to change this build to wherever you feel comfortable with, but I do think it's a really fun build to run. Again, heavy duty boots because of the hazards, right? Now if you turn fire type, Terra Fire, you're gonna be taking a lot of damage from a bunch of these hazards. So heavy duty boots is really cool. You can put up the Heat Rock if you really want to abuse out Solar Beam, but honestly, heavy duty boots just feel like it makes more sense. But again, teach their own. Terra Blast, which does become physical and fire. So it basically has a base 80 stab move in the sun that is 30% boosted. It's a lot of damage. Close combat, of course, for damage. Dragon Claw for stab, dual stab, and of course Solar Beam for these bulky water types. If you don't really want to deal with them. Kyogre is not here yet, but I feel like when Kyogre comes, it's going to be a little bit of a weather wars. If you have your Orichalcum up and Kyogre's rain is gone, bruh, you are golden, my boy. You are golden. So that'll be really fun and really cool to run. All in all, my final thoughts on this mod is he's very strong. Game Freak, I don't know what you guys were on. This mod is really strong. It's weird that he's not fire type, but you can turn fire type into Terra. And I did want to showcase a Terra build here, at least that's fire, to showcase that you actually can do some crazy stuff with it. If you want to run other Terra types, you could also do so. Terra Electric is not bad on this guy as well too. Again, for bulky water types. Terra Ghost, I just feel like is always good. Ghost and Dark just always feel good. Same with Fairy and Steel. They just always all seem good. Same with Ground. So you can run anything like that. But I do fully believe though, his best Terra is Fire purely because of the sun and the Orichalcum buff. So it really take advantage more of the ability. You can make yourself stab with it all. That's that third thing that's missing. All in all, guys, my final thoughts on mine is very strong. I think it's really cool that both of his attack stats and speed stats are exactly 1-to-1. He's really good natural bulk, and he's that guy. Leave a like down below, guys, if you enjoyed. Subscribe. Let me know which one you want to see me do next on a coverage guide. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.